Hello and welcome to Whispers of Time, the channel where we explore the fascinating stories of history's most influential figures. Today, we are going to talk about Genghis Khan, the founder and first Khagan of the Mongol Empire, which later became the largest contiguous land empire in history. How did he rise from a humble nomad to a fearsome conqueror? What were his military strategies and innovations? And what legacy did he leave behind for his descendants and the world? Let's find out in this episode of Whispers of Time. Genghis Khan was born around 1162 in the Khentai Mountains of Mongolia. His original name was Temujin, meaning iron or blacksmith in Mongolian. He was the eldest son of Yasugei, a chieftain of the Borjigin clan, and his wife Hoilan, who belonged to the Okhana tribe. Temujin had 3 brothers and 1 sister, as well as 2 half-brothers from his father's previous marriage. Temujin's childhood was marked by hardship and violence. When he was 9 years old, he was betrothed to Borte, the daughter of another chieftain, and sent to live with her family for 3 years. On his way back to his own clan, he encountered a group of Tatars, who had killed his father by poisoning his food. Temujin swore revenge on the Tatars and vowed to unite the Mongol tribes under his rule. Temujin's family was abandoned by their clan after his father's death, and they had to survive on their own in the harsh Mongol steppe. They faced starvation, raids, and conflicts with other tribes. Temujin had to fight for his life and his leadership, even against his own blood relatives. He killed his half-brother Bektar, who had tried to usurp his authority, and he was captured and enslaved by the Taikia tribe, but managed to escape with the help of a sympathetic guard. Temujin gradually built up a loyal following of warriors and allies, who recognized his charisma, courage, and intelligence. He befriended Jamukha, a fellow Mongol noble, and Togrul, the Khan of the Karait tribe, who became his mentors and supporters. He also married Borte, who gave him 4 sons, Joki, Shugatai, Ogidii, and Talyui. Borte was kidnapped by the Merkit tribe, but Temujin rescued her with the help of Jamukha and Togrul. He also reclaimed his wife's honor by defeating the Merkits and executing their leaders. Temujin's ambition and vision soon brought him into conflict with his former allies. He broke his alliance with Jamukha, who opposed his egalitarian policies and his expansionist goals. He also turned against Togrul, who had allied with Jamukha and the Naimans, another powerful tribe. Temujin defeated them in a series of battles, and consolidated his power over the Mongol tribes. He also adopted a new title, Genghis Khan, meaning universal ruler or oceanic ruler in Mongolian. Genghis Khan established a new political and military system for his empire. He abolished the old tribal divisions and loyalties, and organized his subjects into decimal units based on merit and loyalty. He also created a code of laws, known as the Yasa, which regulated the conduct of his people and enforced justice and order. He promoted religious tolerance and cultural diversity, and encouraged trade and commerce. He also fostered a sense of Mongol identity and pride, and instilled a fierce loyalty and devotion to him and his cause. Genghis Khan also revolutionized the Mongol warfare and strategy. He trained his army to be highly mobile, disciplined, and adaptable. He equipped them with bows, swords, lances, and leather armor, and made use of horses, camels, and oxen for transportation and supply. He also employed siege engines, gunpowder, and engineers to breach the walls and fortifications of his enemies. He used spies, scouts, and messengers to gather information and communicate with his generals. He also employed psychological warfare, such as feigned retreats, surprise attacks, and terror tactics, to demoralize and intimidate his foes. Conquests. With his army of over 100,000 warriors, Genghis Khan embarked on a series of conquests that spanned across Asia and Europe. He first invaded the Western Xia, a Tangut kingdom in northwestern China, in 1209. He forced the Western Xia ruler to submit and pay tribute, and then moved on to attack the Jin dynasty, a Jurchen state that ruled northern China. He captured the Jin capital of Zhongdu, modern Beijing, in 1215, and forced the Jin emperor to flee southward. In 1218, Genghis Khan turned his attention to Central Asia, where he annexed the Karakhitai, a Turkic Khanate that had ruled over the region for a century. He then invaded the Khwarezmian Empire, a Persianate state that stretched from Iran to Afghanistan. The Khwarezmian Shah had provoked Genghis Khan by killing his envoys and seizing his goods. Genghis Khan responded by unleashing his wrath and vengeance on the Khwarezmians. He destroyed their cities, massacred their populations, and chased the Shah until he died of illness on an island in the Caspian Sea. Genghis Khan's conquests did not stop there. He sent his generals and sons to continue his campaigns in different directions. He sent Subutai and Jebe to raid Russia and Eastern Europe, where they defeated the armies of Kiev, Poland, Hungary, and Bulgaria. He sent Taoyui to subdue the Western Xia, which had rebelled against him. He sent Ogedai and Chagatai to conquer the rest of China, where they overthrew the Jin dynasty and established the Yuan dynasty. He also sent his grandson Batu to invade the Middle East, where he sacked Baghdad, the capital of the Abbasid Caliphate, and killed the Caliph. Genghis Khan had a significant impact on the world and his country in various ways. Some of the main aspects of his impact are: he expanded the Mongol Empire to cover most of Asia and parts of Europe, creating the largest contiguous land empire in history. He also established the Yuan dynasty in China, which ruled for nearly a century and integrated Mongol and Chinese cultures. He improved the military and created new tactics used for warfare, such as mobility, discipline, adaptability, siege engines, gunpowder, spies, scouts, messengers, and psychological warfare. He also organized his army into decimal units based on merit and loyalty, rather than tribal affiliation. He facilitated the exchange of ideas, technologies, and goods between the East and the West, through the Silk Road and other trade routes. He also promoted religious tolerance and cultural diversity, and encouraged trade and commerce. He established a code of laws, known as the Yasa, which regulated the conduct of his people and enforced justice and order. He also created the first international postal system, which allowed for better communication and administration. He fostered a sense of Mongol identity and pride, and instilled a fierce loyalty and devotion to him and his cause. He also left behind a lasting legacy for his descendants and the world, who inherited his empire and his achievements. These are some of the ways that Genghis Khan impacted the world and his country. He was a complex and controversial figure, who has inspired countless legends, myths, and stories throughout the ages. He is regarded as one of the most successful military commanders and visionary leaders in history. Genghis Khan died in 1227, while besieging the Western Xia for the third time. The exact cause of his death is unknown, but some sources suggest that he was wounded by an arrow, fell from his horse, or succumbed to illness. His body was brought back to Mongolia, where he was buried in a secret location. His empire was divided among his sons and grandsons, who continued to expand and rule over it for the next century. Genghis Khan left behind a lasting legacy for his descendants and the world. He created the largest land empire in history, which covered over 22 million square kilometers, and influenced the cultures, languages, religions, and economies of the regions he conquered. He also facilitated the exchange of ideas, technologies, and goods between the East and the West, through the Silk Road and other trade routes. He also established a Pax Mongolica, a period of peace and stability that lasted for over a century, and allowed for the flourishing of arts, sciences, and literature. Genghis Khan is regarded as one of the most successful military commanders and visionary leaders in history. He is revered as a national hero and a cultural icon in Mongolia, where he is also known as Genghis Khan. He is also admired and respected by many people around the world, who recognize his achievements and contributions to human civilization. He is also feared and hated by some, who remember his atrocities and brutality against his enemies. He is a complex and controversial figure, who has inspired countless legends, myths, and stories throughout the ages. Thank you for watching this episode of Whispers of Time. If you enjoyed it, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to hit the bell icon to get notified of our latest videos. Also, let us know in the comments what you think of Genghis Khan, and what other historical figures you would like us to cover in the future. Until next time, stay curious and keep learning.